everyone, and welcome to Reptile News. This is Wednesday's edition of Reptile News. We did not do a Monday's version because I just came back from the show, and I came back from the show Sunday night, but I was just burnt. It was terrible. It was not the show. The feeling was terrible. 2 days of walking. It was actually pretty amazing at the show, and that's the first thing I wanted to talk about today. Was my experience at the Sacramento Reptile Show. It was absolutely amazing. I would have to say, right off the bat, the only thing that I would really like to see would be nice is, a little bit of expansion. I mean, it got a little crowded there a little bit, but I mean, it was cool. It was, yeah, it is what it is. And it would be awesome if it opened like 2 hours earlier instead of waiting until 10 a.m. But other than that, the show was absolutely awesome. They went up and above again, as they do year after year. The animals there were just amazing. The people there were amazing. The whole thing was amazing. We stayed at the Holiday Inn, a couple blocks away from the convention center. That was amazing. Went and had dinner with Edgar Ortega and friends. That was pretty fun. We did pick up some stuff at the Sacramento Reptile Show. If you keep track of me on Facebook, you probably already know just about everything. If not, I'll have to put up a video soon of those things. I highly recommend, if you're anywhere in the area or, within reasonable driving distance, or even across the country, if that's the type of thing you like to do, I highly recommend everybody go to this show every year. It helps support our community. We're built up of so many different types of people: the keepers, markets, breeders, promoters, and everything. And it's just good stuff. So I recommend everybody go. I know I love it. I don't get to go every year. I get to go most years, but I just love being able to go. The Phoenix Herp Society once again had an amazing venomous display there with Elvis the King Cobra, and just amazing stuff. Check out the pictures I put on Facebook, and maybe plan on going next year. And now we're going to move on to a story that I got off phys.org, and they're saying that lizards show the capability to learn through imitation, and up until now it was only believed that humans and the higher range of primates were able to do that, but they used lizards. And I feel kind of bad because a lot of this science type stuff, while I love it, I just don't understand it. And they say here that the difference between imitation and just doing it because of reward or whatever, they say that imitation requires doing something and understanding the consequences of what you're doing, understanding the deeper meaning of what you're doing. And now they're saying that they find evidence that lizards can learn through imitation, not just doing what they see other lizards doing, but actually understanding the reasoning behind it. And that's going to take us right into our last story of the day. I could talk all day long about this, but trust me, I'll spare you on that one. I read a report from Forbes that said that half of the world's, I think they said 52% of all mammal, bird, amphibian, reptile, fish have disappeared since 1970. Apparently this report was done in 2010, and it says that it's the same old thing we always hear: the human encroachment, the habitat loss and everything. But I sit back and think about this and think, oh my God, half of the world's animals have disappeared in my lifetime, and that's just it's terrible. There's absolutely nothing good about this kind of news, other than the fact that we have the capability through cameras, YouTube, internet, and everything to help get the word out there about how bad off some of this stuff is. Now, they do say the biggest losses are in undeveloped or developing poor countries. And while some conservation efforts have helped numbers a little bit, the fact of the matter is we're just cutting down trees and killing stuff quicker than it can replenish itself. And of course, as I said, exploitation and habitat degradation does account for 82% of all the threats to wildlife all over the globe. And it's just, you can't stress this kind of information enough. Again, in the last 40 years, look at everything that we've lost, and look at the next 40 years. Are we gonna stay on the same cycle? Are we gonna change? What are we gonna do to fix it? And I'm not completely living off the grid in the Stone Age or whatever, and I understand the way of humans that we're gonna continue to grow and develop and take over the land. It's just what can we do to stop the damage that's being done, and to hopefully rebuild some of it while we continue to grow. really gives you something to think about. And that, my friends, has been all your news for this Wednesday. If you'd like to read any more about these stories, that link's right down below here in the description. And as always, if you're still watching, you know what's going on in the reptile world. Be good to each other, and we'll see you Friday.